Hey, welcome everybody back to the Curiosity Cave. Tonight I'm going to be doing a VR for Mark's Dodgers cards, and just wanted to mention you won't be hearing my buddy anymore. We had to say goodbye to Owen, put him to sleep on Friday. It was a tough weekend, but it's always special having him help out on a video in the background. So the VR, Mark wants us to do a list of some players in the Hall of Very Good for your favorite teams. I'm doing teams, and he also wants to shout out some of the newer channels that weren't eligible for the YouTube Sports Card Collectors Hall of Fame. So we'll start off with a few of the Minnesota Twins that I have. All are very good. We'll start out with this Bob Allison. It's a 1965 Trade Block Twins card. Bob was a mainstay with the 60s Twins. They were a pretty good team throughout the 60s. They won a pennant in 1965, losing to the Dodgers and Sandy Koufax in 7 games, and they also were in the playoffs against the Orioles and Eddie Watt in 69 and 70. And Bob had over 30 home runs 3 times. His Rookie of the Year, American League in 1959. He also had 256 career homers in only playing just right around a decade. So he was a pretty decent player for the Twins. Twins Hall of Very Good. Next up, a guy you don't hear about a lot is Cesar Tovar. He played just about anywhere on the Twins roster. He even had one game where he played all 9 positions. He even struck out a batter during the 1 inning he pitched. But Cesar led the league in hits in 1971, triples in 1970 with 13, and he had a career with 226 stolen bases. And this is a 1969 Transagram side panel of Cesar Tovar. And finally, the last twin I'm going to show tonight is another favorite, Camilo Pascual. He started with the Twins with the Washington Senators. He won 20 games a couple times, led the league in strikeouts 3 times. He had 2,161 strikeouts in his career and 174 wins. He was one of the mainstays on the Twins pitching staff for a pretty good amount of time. He's on there with Jim Cott and Jim Mudcat Grant. It was a great pitching staff. Although he was gone by the time they were making the playoffs against the Orioles. He did pitch 1 game in the 65 World Series, but the Twins lost that game. They won 3 of the games in Minnesota and lost 3 games in Los Angeles, and the 7th game came down to Sandy Koufax winning that game. The other team I'm going to look at is the Detroit Tigers, my other favorite team. And we'll start, of course, with Denny McLain, my buddy. Of course, everybody knows he won the Cy Young in '68. Tigers won the pennant, World Series. Denny won 31 games and the MVP. And then in '69, he followed that up with another Cy Young, 24 more wins. And he was a mainstay of the Tigers in the late 60s. 3 times he won 20 games. In '68, he had a 1.96 ERA. and 280 strikeouts. That was a big year for him. He signs a lot at card shows. If you get a chance, stop over and talk to him. He'll tell you some good baseball stories. The next guy, Willie Horton. This is this and the Denny McLain are 1968 O-Pee-Chee Deckle Edge. They both have blank backs. But Willie is four-time All-Star, hit up 36 home runs one season, 325 for his career, 100 RBIs 3 times. That was quite the lineup the Tigers had. He once saved Al Kaline's life. Al Kaline had swallowed his tongue during a game or a practice or something, and Willie went over there and was able to help him. Next up, we got Bill Freehand. My opinion, he had to be the best catcher to play all the way through the 60s. You know, Elston Howard had some of his better years in the 50s and early 60s, and Johnny Bench came later in the 60s. Earl Batty was a pretty good catcher. There's a few others too. 5-time All-Star, or no, 5-time Gold Glove, 11-time All-Star. Just every American League team throughout his career seemed to have Bill Freehand on there. And finally, my last card of the night, Rocky Colavito. Played 4 or 5 seasons with the Tigers, 40 home runs per season. He had a big arm. At one time he stood on home plate and he threw the ball over 400 feet over the center field wall. And he ended up with 374 home runs and 1,159 RBIs. And he had 100 RBIs 6 times, and 3 times he hit over 40 home runs. This is the 1963 Statback exhibit. And for channels, I'll list them down below and in the comments. And the 3 channels I'm shouting out. First one is he's got a few exhibit cards. His channel is called Jimmy Card Collector. Go check him out. He's got some good vintage cards, and he's an old timer like me. Maybe not as old, but like to get him some subs and get him excited about putting up a few more videos. Next up, Low Down Dirty Cardboard. He has 46 subs, and I just subbed him through Alex Bowman 53's Card Room Live on Sunday night. So it looks like he's got some pretty good videos on vintage. And there's Cooter Lev. He also has 46 subs. See him, he's always in the chat on 1 Million Cubs every morning. You'll see Cooter come through there quite often. And he's got a couple good videos. I think we should get him some subs and encourage him to make some more videos, because he's got a wonderful collection. All 3 of these guys seem like great guys. I haven't met him in person. I met Cooter in person, sorry. Met Cooter at the Dallas Card Show, great guy. And hope to meet the others someday. And one other thing, I will be on Alex Bowman 53's Card Room Live this coming Sunday with a couple other of your favorites. Downey Livestream, Reindeer Studios, and Mike's Sports History Collector. We're going to show some cards from our collections. So it should be a good time. That Sunday night Card Room Live is always pretty good. Remember, it's not a show. So thank you everybody for watching, and hope you have a great weekend coming up.